And we are live on the Metal Voice talking about, the essence of metal. Iron Maiden. What would the world be without Iron Maiden? Less metal. Power metal. No speed metal. No
Jimmy,
thrash metal. And without Iron Maiden, there's nothing.
this is the best day of like every few years. Like Iron Maiden tour kickoff eve. It's like for baseball fans, it's like the day before opening day. For hockey fans, it's like the day before hockey season starts. This is it. Except this doesn't happen every
Maiden.
year. This only happens once every few years. The night before the new Maiden tour, and we're all speculating what will the set list be, what will the stage design be, what will the shirt designs be, what will the latest Eddie be like? Like this is it, man. This is Maiden tour eve.
We got boots on the ground. We got boots on the ground tomorrow, Perrin. Don't worry. We got all the Metal Voice friends and fans from around the world.
We found
tomorrow
a
in Budapest.
We found
in
somebody
Budapest,
in Budapest.
Hungary.
Live reports.
That's it. Iron Maiden prepares to kick off on May 27th, which would be tomorrow, in Budapest. The Run for Your Lives World Tour, dedicated to 50 years of the band. That's
actually,
very
Jimmy,
critical. 50 years.
Newsflash, it's actually today in Budapest, because in Budapest it is now midnight and 7. So
Today.
Even though we're saying this is tomorrow, in Budapest, there's somebody right now saying, today's the day.
Today's the day. You got it. 2 minutes to midnight, right? 2 minutes to midnight. Actually, 7 minutes past midnight. 7 minutes past midnight. There you go. A lot of speculation on Setlist. A leak from, a photographer on the Chile, where was it?
Maiden Chile, who's actually in the past has been a very reputable site for kind of breaking Maiden news.
Yeah.
Say they found some postings by a Maiden photographer who made hints as to the set list, or who actually told them the set list. So we will know tomorrow if that is true or not.
But I'm going to tell everybody not to worry. Everything you need to know about Iron Maiden is right here and nowhere else. This is right here. Not only can we predict, but we know, we got the know-how, we got the Iron Maiden goods all up here. So what we're going to do?
Say we're the clairvoyants.
Yes, and we are clairvoyants. Iron Maiden set list, predictions, Simon Dawson, merch, shirts, all this fun stuff we're going to find out about today. We're going to predict what that set list is going to be. Based on our knowledge of Iron Maiden past, we're going to predict the future.
We know the Iron Maiden tendencies. Jimmy and I have been doing this so long and following Maiden for so long.
Trajectory.
We know how they shapeshift and all the different things that they do.
Big question. I'll ask you this question. Typically, tours in the past few years or past decade always kick off with some new music, a comic book, a video game. It is 7 minutes past midnight now in Budapest. What are the chances we're going to get some sort of goodie from Iron Maiden? I'll ask you that question.
My take on that would be 0. I don't think there's there's no newness. I think the newness is the tour. I think the newness is the set list. I think the newness is the shirts. I think the newness is the drummer. If they were going to do, why would you put out, let's say, a live album of the last tour when you're about to start the new tour?
Oh, a song. It could be just a song, right?
Yeah, and if it was a new album, like when Senjutsu came out, we got Writing on the Wall kind of a little bit early. Mm-hmm. So if this was a new album or an advance of a new album tour, but no, like I just don't think there's anything coming out. I don't think suddenly we're gonna wake up in the morning and find a single, a remake, a live track. There's a lot of the, if you look at the Iron Maiden social media today, there seems to be a lot of hinting of Killers being in the set because the Eddies they're putting out there. So I don't think there's going to be like. So
let's go one step
Killers
further.
2025. I don't think we're going to see Killers 2025 released tomorrow. I don't think there's any new product coming.
Well, okay, let's look at the poster for starters. Okay, I know you don't have it in front of you, but I'll put the poster up. You see, I mean, the most prominent display of Eddie is the axe. And Eddie sort of mimicking the Killers cover. So there's going to be some Killers there. definitely the song Killers, right? And he's got the axe, and yes, it has a little bit of hints of other stuff in that picture, but we can safely say Killers is probably going to be featured. But the question is, I'm going back to something else. I'm not going to the songs. I'm going back to the merch. Will there be merch either similar to that poster or maybe an old school's Killer shirt? What do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know they just did a 50th anniversary line on their webpage. Mm-hmm. So look, I do think there's going to be some kind of a 50th anniversary thing. The last few tours, they always have like a classic album kind of shirt, maybe with a little bit modernized. What I think would be cool, so if they did some kind of a shirt with imagery from the first of the 9 covers, right? If there were like different eddies, just when they did, what was it? The somewhere back on tour, when they redid the kind of Power Slave era and before, they kind of did a shirt with a lot of different album imagery on it. So I think it might be something like that. But I think the tour poster, I think you'll definitely see like an Eddie with an axe that seems to be in other social media stuff. And I'm sure, I'm looking at it now too. So if you look at it, I'm sure there's kind of hints in this, right? Like there always is. But my first prediction is I say they're going to open with Killers.
Okay, well, let's break it down. Let's break it down. Let's break this completely down. Let's go to the songs that they will play, that they've always played, that they have not missed playing in the last 10 years. And we'll break it all down. It would be fair to say that the song Iron Maiden, Trooper, and Fear of the Dark are going to be played. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Like in my mock set list, I don't necessarily want them to be there because I've seen Maiden so many times. But I say this all the time. There's always a kid going to his first Iron Maiden concert. Iron Maiden needs to be played. The Trooper needs to be played. The Number of the Beast probably needs to be played. And Fear of the Dark is just a Bruce favorite. And I still think it might be the only song they play from that album. Maybe they'll play one more. I mean, we're only drawing from 9 albums. But I don't think they're going to go.
Can we agree on this? Can we agree with Iron Maiden, Trooper, and Fear of the Dark will be played? Can we agree on this?
I say they will.
3 ticks right there. All right. Killers, the song Killers. Let's get into the song, not the album, Killers. Do you think this will be played? I think you do think it's going to be.
Yeah, I told you. I think that's my prediction for the opening. Because, look, I see people predicting all kinds of wild, deep cuts. And folks, this isn't the early days tour that they did in 2005. They've said there'll be 1 or 2 surprises. They didn't say, and they said this is a tour for the first 9 albums. They didn't say this is an album tour full of deep cuts. So, like, check your expectations at the door. I think it's going to be just a kind of a typical Maiden tour with a few songs they haven't played in a long time, like Killers. So Killers has not been heavily played. And I think
you're leaning as an opening song. That's what you're leaning towards.
Yeah, I don't see where else it would work, to be honest with you. That kind of
I would agree with you, Perrin. I would say yes, they're going to play Killers, and I can see them heavily leaning on opening with that song. What a better way to, I mean, the poster, again, features Killers prominently there. And it's got that 50-year-old vibe. They haven't played it in a long time, but they've played it many, many times in their set.
Yeah, look, people can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know for sure they played it on the 2005 Early Days tour. Yeah. But I don't think they've played Killers since. So
it's due.
So we're talking 20 years maybe since they played it, if I'm right. So I think Killers is definitely going to be there.
So here we go. I agree with you. So far, 1, Iron Maiden, Killers, Fear of the Dark. Iron Maiden, Trooper, Fear of the Dark, and Killers. Those are 4 songs. If there was a 20-song set list, which the Chilean leak, we'll call it the Chile leak, had, that means we're down to 16 songs left.
Yeah, let me say that's the part of the set list I dispute. Now, Maiden, for as long as I can remember, their set lists have been 15 or 16 songs. Yeah. Now, sometimes it's because they're playing Rime of the Ancient Mariner or a longer song or two. Now, that could have been because of Nico's limitations due to his health. So maybe all of a sudden, with Nico not in the picture, unfortunately, they are going to be able to play a longer set. But there's also Bruce's voice, and there's the age of the band in general. So I have a hard time seeing 20 songs played, unless there's some of the shorter energy spurt songs, right? So it's possible, but 20 sounds like a lot to me.
It's a very good point that you bring up. Simon Dawson, he's not in his 70s. I think he's in his 50s. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe mid 50s. I don't remember his exact age. Bottom line is, he's got more juice in him, right? And
yeah,
for
he's not
a drummer,
recovering from a stroke. He's not recovering from a stroke, basically.
That's right. And Nico's amazing. We love Nico. 42 years. He's played with Iron Maiden. Has been fabulous. But Simon Dawson, a drummer is the engine room, right? The drummer has got to be physically fit. He's got to have stamina. And you can go up to 20 songs a night if you have a drummer in top shape.
Yeah.
Right.
And I always say to people when they complain about people go to a Dream Theater show and they complain they only played like 8 songs. Like, okay, but 3 of them were 20 minutes each. It's like, it's not really how many songs a band plays. It's how long they play for. So the set length is going to be what the set length is going to be. The number of songs is going to depend on if they play songs like Rime of the Ancient Mariner or if they play 2 shorter songs instead of Rime of the Ancient Mariner, as an example.
Sure. Okay. So you say 17 to 20 songs. That's what we're saying here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
let's look at the people, the comments on YouTube. Opportunity to play Strange World with Bruce for the first time. Maybe let's put that aside. Eon Music, Eamon, our good friend. Killers won't open the set. Totally the wrong place. It will be in the set, however. I think Killers is the greatest.
It's just so energetic.
Yeah,
I mean, It could also be a song in the middle of the set. Like, let's say there's a slower song played, and then you need to bring the pace back up again. That's also where you can put Killers. Yeah. It's either going to be an opening song, a change of pace, maybe a first encore. Although I still think the encores are going to be the typical encores.
Strange enough, when I saw Iron Maiden on the Number of the Beast tour, Killers wasn't the opener. It was Murders in the Rue Morgue that was the opener, which is because the smoke comes out, there's that slow part, and then it goes really fast paced. You would think Killers would have been the opening song, but it wasn't. So it was later on in the set, somewhere in the middle. Okay. So again, just to recap, Iron Maiden, Trooper, Fear of the Dark, Killers. Okay, now let's get into the Number of the Beast. What songs from Number of the Beast would they play? My prediction, Run to the Hills, Hallowed Be Thy Name, and The Number of the Beast. Those 3 songs, because they haven't played those songs in a few years now. So what do you think?
Yeah, well, go down the list, right? Are they going to play Invaders? Absolutely not. Are they going to play...
It would be a treat, though. It would be a treat, but go ahead.
Look, a lot of rarely played songs would be a treat, but they're not going to play Invaders. Children of the Damned has kind of become a deep cut, but they just played it, I think, on the Legacy of the Beast tour. So I don't think you're going to see Children of the Damned. The Prisoner, they just played on the last tour, so I don't think you're going to hear that. For me, 22 Acacia Avenue, that would be a great surprise deep cut.
That would be the deep cut.
I don't think they're going to do it, but I would love to see 22 Acacia Avenue. I think Number of the Beast will be the first encore, so I think you'll get Number of the Beast in there. Run to the Hills hasn't been played as much as it had been previously.
That's right.
But I can see that in there.
But part of the legacy of those first 7 albums, right? It's part of that big legacy there.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if you're going to play some deeper cuts, something needs to go. And I still think Hallowed Be Thy Name will be in there.
All right. So are we in agreement then? I hear an agreement. Number of the Beast, Run to the Hills, and Hallowed Be Thy Name. 100%? I would put it 100% all 3.
I agree with Number of the Beast. I agree with Hallowed Be Thy Name. And I'm like 80% on Run to the Hills. So let's call it.
We're almost. Yeah, we're in agreement. All right. So Tiago is saying it would be great to hear Total Eclipse and Gangland. I agree, but I don't think they're going to do it.
0 chance. 0.
Leonardo,
again, this isn't a Rarities tour. This isn't the Early Days tour. This is just a tour of the first 9 albums. So you're going to get a lot of the typical songs from the first 9 albums. And look, I think we're going to get just the way that there was that Alexander the Great moment on the last tour, that song everyone was waiting for to be played. I think we might get 1 or 2 Alexander the Great moments. That's it,
Okay, so let us recap once again. I'm going to keep recapping, by the way. Iron Maiden, this is what we're in agreement with. Then I want to see where we disagree. That's where I'm going.
Violent agreement.
Iron Maiden, Trooper, Fear of the Dark, Killers, Run to the Hills, Number of the Beast, Hallowed Be Thy Name. Okay, now we're going to get into the first album. What do you think they're going to play off the first album?
See, this is where I think they can maybe get a little interesting. So, I've heard of some rumors of Prowler. I've heard rumors of Running Free, which, they've played off and on over the years. I have a soft spot for Running Free because the first Iron Maiden tour I saw was Power Slave, and that was the one of the it might have been the last song or the last encore. Can't remember if it was that or Sanctuary, but so Running Free I have a soft spot for. Now I think what they're bringing back on this tour, I think one of the moments is going to be Phantom of the Opera. I think they're going to play Phantom of the Opera.
What about? I would think, as the deep cut of the first album, I would say Phantom of the Opera too. I would agree with you. They're not going to play Remember Tomorrow because Bruce has already been on record saying they're retiring that song because that defined who Paul Di'Anno was in terms of the legacy of Iron Maiden.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think there's any chance of that being
so let's scratch that right off. Would have loved to hear it, but let's scratch that right off.
We've already agreed on Iron Maiden, and we're kind of leaning that Phantom of the Opera could be one of the surprises. So for me,
Running Free.
I'm
on Running Free.
For me, Running Free and Prowler are the only two maybes that could get played from that album.
Now, Running Free, the history of Running Free is, they played it on Top of the Pops back in the day. That was their hit off the first album. So there's legacy there. There's meaning behind playing Running Free. It's the first 7 albums of the band, right? Phantom of the Opera being a pleaser back in the day. Prowler and Sanctuary they played in the olden days, like many, many, many times. Live After Death, I think they play Sanctuary. I think they play. Do they play Prowler on Live After Death? I don't remember. No, but it was Sanctuary.
On some version, I think Sanctuary might have been played on the European tour, not on the North American tour.
All right, Kevin. Please tell us if Sanctuary and or Prowler was played
it's
with Bruce
tomorrow, so we'll know
in the
tomorrow.
Live After Death. Yes. Phantom of the Opera is a show stealer. That's what Kevin's saying. Rich is saying Prowler, Sanctuary, Running Free return. I agree with that. Prowler, Sanctuary, Running Free will return off the first album. Okay, let's go off the Killers album. We already said that Killers will be on it. What else could be on it from the second album?
I think you're going to see Wrathchild. Wrathchild also hasn't been played in a little while.
Yeah, I got to add Wrathchild. Yeah.
And Wrathchild was always a good second song of the set for me. Like I always kind of liked when they kind of opened with something heavy, and then went right into that kind of rolling bass line of Wrathchild. So I can kind of see a Killer's Wrathchild, just like, well, not quite like the album, but I can both of them off that album being the 1-2 punch to open the show.
I would like to see a women in uniform, but it's not going to happen.
No, like honestly, I look at the track list for Killers, and all I see being played is Wrathchild and Killers. I don't think anything else is going to be played from Killers.
Number of the Beast, we already talked about it. What's going to be played off of that? Let's go off of Peace of Mind. Here's my prediction.
I think we agree on this. We talked about this yesterday. There's rumors of this being one of the deep cut, haven't played it in forever moments. To Tame a Land. I think To Tame a Land is going to be one of the surprises.
You know what? A lot of people are saying To Tame a Land will be one. It's going to be the Alexander the Great moment, we'll call it. I personally don't want them to play it, but I could see them playing it. I would think maybe, just maybe, they might play Die With Your Boots On because that was a sort of a show favorite back in the day.
Yeah, that was prominent on side 4 of the Live After Death album. So Die With Your Boots On could be there. Icarus went over really well on Legacy of the Beast. I would say Flight of Icarus.
They've done it.
But it's only 2 tours ago, right? It's only 2 tours ago. So same thing. Revelations is they played it a couple tours ago. Or Eagles Dare they did a couple of tours ago. So that's why, Troopers are for sure, but nothing else here is for sure. And I just have this feeling about To Tame a Land.
You know what? Judging, actually what I did is I kind of created the set list in my head first, and then I looked at the leaked song list, and it kind of lines up. So did you, right? It kind of lines up more or less. Yeah. To Tame a Land, I would think it would make sense.
Yeah, because there has to be, look, I think that people expecting 7 surprises are going to be disappointed. But I think if people are expecting 2 or 3 surprises, that's where the Killers and the Phantom of the Opera and the To Tame a Land might come in.
Yeah, Where Eagles Dare will not be on. Flight of Icarus will not be on because these are songs that they've been playing as of lately. Revelations they've been playing.
Like not every tour, but just they play them on Legacy of the Beast just 2 tours ago.
Yeah.
or Book of Souls.
Look at this. Michael's saying To Tame a Land was only played in 1983. So actually it was played.
Yeah, I think you and I were having this conversation, right? They haven't played it.
Remember.
They haven't played it since that tour.
So I was that piece of candidate. I was that piece of mine, and I don't even remember that they played it.
It's a perfect candidate to be the surprise.
You know what? Die With Your Boots On, as much as I can't stand that song, perhaps. I'm leaning at a 40% here.
Can't stand is a kind of strong statement, Rob.
Can't stand is what it is. All right, let's go off of Power Slave. 2 Minutes of Midnight. You know what? It was a big hit for them. It kind of drove the album back in the day. They played it many times many times in the past, but they haven't in the last, I would say, 7 years? 2 Minutes to Midnight? When's the last time you actually heard that?
I remember when they last played it. Was it on? So Legacy of the Beast opened with Aces High, but I don't know if they played 2 Minutes to Midnight. I don't think they played 2 Minutes to Midnight on Legacy. Okay. So then it would have gone maybe to the Book of Souls tour. So yeah, it's definitely been a while. And look, again, they're not going to play Aces High because they opened with that on.
They're not playing it. No.
Legacy of the Beast. Guys, anyone who's hoping for Flash of the Blade or Back in the Village, forget about it. Not happening.
Back to the Village needs to go back to the Village. That's what I say.
So for me, the two candidates I see are 2 Minutes to Midnight and Power Slave, the title track.
I'm kind of saying 2 Minutes to Midnight, Power Slave, and possibly Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, because it's been a long time.
If they do rhyme...
It's been a long time, Baron.
But if they do rhyme, you can forget about it being a 20-song set list.
Maybe they could do like a short version.
Yeah,
why not? Why not? If they start off with Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
My top three choices from that record are what I think they'll play are 2 Minutes to Midnight, Power Slave, and maybe Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. But knowing if you get Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, it's a trade-off. You're probably losing 2 songs for that.
You probably are. But wouldn't that be a highlight? So you get a deep cut that you haven't heard in a long time. You get a Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, which is, they've kind of played in the past, but you're right. It sucks up too much of the time of the set list. But Iron Maiden has always been about surprises, right? Not always, but they always throw in a couple of nuggets here and there. All right, now we're going to the seventh son of the seventh son of the seventh son of the seventh son.
You're forgetting one.
Oh, Somewhere in Time.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think. Say what you want to say.
Let's remember the theme of the last tour was future past, and it was focused on Somewhere in Time and Senjutsu. Yeah. We got 5 songs from Somewhere in Time on the last tour.
Yeah.
Right? We got Caught Somewhere in Time. We got Wasted Years. We got Heaven Can Wait. We got Stranger in a Strange Land, and we got, of course, Alexander the Great. So that's 5 out of 8 songs were played on the last tour. I don't see them doing Deja Vu. I don't see them doing Loneliness, a Long Distance Runner, although I would love them to. And that leaked set list from Chile had them doing Sea of Madness. And I just don't see that. I don't even think it's that popular a song from that album. So, because they have to play at least one song from every album of the first 9 due to the theme of the tour, I think there's going to be one song from Somewhere in Time, just one. And even though they played it last tour, I just think they're going to do Wasted Years because it's a hit.
I think I'm going to agree with you on that. I think Wasted Years, I don't know why Sea of Madness, have they ever played it? Did they play it on Somewhere in Time tour originally? I don't remember. I don't remember.
If Maiden Chile has this nailed and they play Sea of Madness, hats off to them. But I will say, if they were going to go deep cut from that album, and that's not Alexander the Great, I would love if they played The Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner. I would just absolutely love it. I don't think there's any chance of that, but I would love it.
Okay. Now we're going to Seventh Son of the Seventh Son of the Seventh Son.
This is where I think you have some potential for some stuff happening.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to go with The Evil That Men Do. Has been played in a long time. Maybe 2 tours ago, 3 tours ago. I don't remember exactly, but it's it's short, it's punchy. It could even be the opener to the whole show, right?
Yeah, I don't think it would be the opener, but I'd like to see it played, and I think you might see it played. I think they've always liked the song, and they've thrown it in like every 3 or 4 tours.
Yeah. Infinite Dreams is the Chilean set list.
And I think that's Infinite Dreams I think has a chance because it's a very beloved deep cut. Like people love that song. God, on the Seven Sun tour, when they played it, the place went mental because that was everybody's favorite deep track on the album. So I think that has a chance. But so my bold prediction from this record is the Clairvoyant. And don't forget, you need a sing-along moment, right? You need a Heaven Can Wait moment. You need and the Clairvoyant is a bit of a sing-along moment.
I would say The Evil That Men Do, and I'm not quite sure what other song, Infinite Dreams or the Clairvoyant. Also, Evil Caribou says they will play the Clairvoyant, I'm pretty sure. Okay, let's...
And I think we agree, no Can I Play With Madness, right? Sure. We agree that Can I Play With Madness is played out, that we're not going to do that.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to, what do we, what's F says?
No Prayer.
No Prayer. Ooh, this is a tricky one.
Well, I think you're going to get one track from No Prayer and one track from Fear the Dark. Honestly, if they had done this as the first 7 albums, I would be perfectly happy. I don't need anything from these albums, but I get it. It's the Bruce era up to him departing and being replaced by Blaze, so it's 9 albums. But honestly, what do I want to hear? You know, they
Quick or Be Dead.
No, that's the next album. So, I mean, some people have said, I think Maiden Chili predicted Tail Gunner. Some people predicted Tail Gunner to be in the set. I don't know. I think
Mother Russia.
I think the only song you're going to see from this, I think you might see Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter.
Yeah, I'd be kind of disappointed if that is
because it kind of qualifies as a deepish kind of cut. I don't think it's been played since that tour.
Yeah, holy smoke, it's not going to happen.
No, I think, like I said, either Tail Gunner is going to be in the set or Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter could be my
Holy Smokes would be good. John saying Holy Smokes, I think that'd be great. Hooks and You, oh boy. Mother Russia, geez.
I'd like to go on record and just say this, for me, this is the worst Iron Maiden album. Like, I would rather listen to the Blaze records. I'd rather listen to all the new stuff. So just I do
like Tail Gunner. I think it's a good song.
For me, this is the worst Iron Maiden album.
It is the worst Iron Maiden album. But Tail Gunner is a good song. I like Holy Smokes too. It's a good song. Holy Smoke. Okay. So let's go to Fear the Dark. We've already said Fear the Dark, right?
Yeah, we've said Fear the Dark. So I think the only other possibility is some people have predicted Be Quick or Be Dead being the opening.
Yeah, I could see Be Quick or Be Dead.
Yeah, but I don't think so. Short, it's catchy, honestly, I think we're getting one track from Fear the Dark, and I think we're getting one track from No Prayer for the Dying, which I'm saying is going to be Bring Your Daughter.
All right, let's see how this stacks up. Let me just bring out the sheet here. Let me see if everybody could see this. All right. You know what? We're very interactive over here in the Metal Voice. We don't fool around. Charts, figuring stuff out. Parent, I don't know if you can see this or not, but on one side, on the left side, you can see what the chili leak is. Be Quick or Be Dead, Rothschild. Okay, let's go through the chili leak. Be Quick or Be Dead, we said a yes, right?
Well, let me pull this up. So I dispute this because it's 20 songs, which I think is too many, but...
Okay, but let's go through it. Be Quick or Be Dead. You say yes?
I say no.
Oh, you say no. Okay.
I say no.
Yes, no. I say yes. Rothschild.
I say yes.
I say yes, you say yes.
Not what I want, what I think.
Yeah, me too. It's what I think. Prowler. Yes or no?
I say no.
You say no, I say yes. No one does it like this, Baron. Nobody does it. 2 minutes to midnight.
Yes.
I agree with you. Yes. I feel like I'm doing my homework. To Tame a Land, what do we say? I say yes.
We both said yes. That's one of our surprises.
Yes, yes. Phantom of the Opera, I think we both said yes to that.
Yeah, that's also one of our surprises.
Okay. Sea of Madness?
No.
I say no.
I say no.
Let's gut this sucker. Maybe that's wishful thinking on our
part. If Maiden Chili nails this, they are the...
I'm going red. I'm going red. Yeah. Power Slave, what are we talking?
I said yeah. I think, like, you thought maybe Rime of the Ancient Mariner. I think Power Slave they might play.
Well, I think they're going to do Power Slave. I don't think they're going to... Okay. Let's just I'll put yes to Power Slave for now.
I'm saying, you can say what you want. I'm saying yes.
I'm saying I think they're going to play it. Wasted Years. I say no.
I say yes, only because what else are they? They have to play one thing from that album.
Infinite Dreams. I say no.
I say no. I know a lot of people are hoping for it, but I say no.
No. On the Chilean Leak set list, they have Killers right in the middle, and I say yes, and I know you say yes to this.
Yeah, like I said, I say opener, but whatever. I say it's in the set.
Bring Your Daughter, I think they're going to play it as much as I don't want them to play it.
Yeah, like I said, I think that might be the one song from that album.
It's a terrible song, seriously.
I don't mind it.
Fear the Dark, I say yes. It's a standard. Yeah. Yes. The Trooper, oh, for the love of God, can they stop playing the song?
Yeah, Trooper's going to be a yes.
A song that I used to love as a kid, and now I can't stand. It's just because it's overplayed, that's all.
Yeah, it's a yes.
Iron Maiden's a yes. Yes. Number of the Beast, it's a yes.
Yep.
Yes. Hallowed Be Thy Name, we're going to yes.
Yep.
Yes. Run to the Hills, I say yes. You say?
Yeah.
I'm
going to say yes. Yeah.
You say yes. Okay, yes. Sanctuary, I say yes.
I say
yes.
no.
You say no, okay. Big no. And Running Free, I say yes.
I say yes.
You say yes. Okay. Now, since we got the big list in front of us, the only song from this list that we completely say no to, actually, there's Infinite Dreams. There's Sea of Madness. Is there anything else we say both no to?
Nope, do you say no to Be Quick or Be Dead?
Be Quick or Be Dead? I said yes, you said no.
Oh, okay.
I hope everybody's following along with my chart.
Yeah, and I think you had more yeses than, like I said, I think you had more yeses than I did because you prescribed to the fact they're going to play 20 songs maybe. I really think they're going to play 16 songs.
Now, on the right-hand side, I have Die With Your Boots On, Where Eagles Dare. No, that's a mistake. I do not want that. I think they will play Die With Your Boots On, The Evil That Men Do, and Ride of the Ancient Mariner.
Okay. Look,
which are not, but...
I can give you... I have my predicted
give me what you
16
got.
song. I have my predicted 16 song
from what is missing from what we just spoke about.
I don't think we've missed very much, but can I give you my set list?
No, okay, go. Give me your set list. Because I'm color coding. And Jim Harrison, I know you like my color coding. I feel like I'm back in school.
So here's my set list, okay?
Okay, go.
16 songs.
Go.
Killers.
Yes.
This is in order, by the way. In order.
Yeah.
Killers.
Yes.
2 Minutes to Midnight.
Yeah.
The Evil That Men Do.
Gotcha.
I put in Flight of Icarus yesterday, but now you've changed my mind.
Okay, so Flight is off. Okay.
Okay, so maybe that gets replaced by something. Power Slave.
Yep.
Wrathchild.
Yep.
The Trooper.
Yeah, well, yeah.
To Tame a Land.
To Tame a Land. Yep. We both said yes. Go.
Running Free.
Yeah, we're both on that. Yep.
The Clairvoyant.
Yeah, I don't know how to spell the clairvoyant. The Clara, I'll call it. Okay, go ahead.
Clairvoyant. Wasted Years, Reluctantly.
Yeah, Wasted Years. Yep.
Fear of the Dark.
Yep.
Iron Maiden.
Yep.
And then my 3 encores. The Number of the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter.
Yep.
And Hallowed Be Thy Name.
Perrin, I actually, from the list that I see from Chile, we're going back to the 2 red color-coded, Sea of Madness and Infinite Dreams, and you have the Clairvoyant that replaces those 2. That's it. So it's pretty much the same
they had 20 songs, I had 16. Maybe there'll be, and like I said, I'm kind of taking out Icarus so you can put something else in there. And I know people are probably hearing my set list and saying, Perrin, that's so boring. They played all those songs. Guys, it's not a Rarities tour, and it's not an Early Days tour. It's a First 9 Albums tour. You're going to get 2 or 3 holy shit moments, but that's it.
Yeah. So I think the Chilean, I mean, I'm looking at the statistics here between you and me, and it's at a 85% hit rate for that leak, I would say. You know, look, Be Quick. This is what we agree on. Wrathchild, 2 Minutes, To Tame a Land, Phantom, Power Slave, not Wasted, Killers, Bring Your Daughter, Fear the Dark, The Trooper, Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast, Hallowed Be Thy Name, Run to the Hills, Sanctuary, Running Free. Let's color code the ones that we don't agree on.
Yeah, I can't see anything, so you just go ahead and do that.
I'm going to color code, and I'm going to use a light blue, a light baby blue. You're saying no to Prowler?
I'm saying no to Prowler.
You sure about that? Okay.
I'm not sure of anything until tomorrow, but
I'm going to color code. I'm color coding baby blue.
So what is the color coding? It's like unanimous choice or what?
It's nowhere we disagree.
Okay.
Yellow is where we agree. Blue is where we disagree. And red is where we're both saying no. Okay. I just want to ask everybody, is this okay, this color coding business and the set list? Does this help everybody visualize what's going to happen tomorrow? I don't think there's any other YouTube channel or Iron Maiden conversation as thorough as we are.
We are geeking out. The thing is, we have all this knowledge, but our brains are so shot that, like I've seen Maiden, I think 18 times now. So I try and say, this was played on this tour, that was played on that tour, but it all kind of just blends together at one point, so it's hard to remember what was played when. But I kind of know, I'm like any other Maiden tour. I'm just hoping to hear a song or two that I've never heard them play live before.
But let me finish off on this so I could take this off the screen. Let me just finish. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to tell you where we sort of differ and we agree. Be Quick or Be Dead is a disagreement between you and me. Mm-hmm. Prowler is a disagreement between you and me. Wasted Years is a disagreement between you and me. And Sanctuary is a disagreement. So we have 4 disagreements. And the rest is consensus. Either it's a no or it's a yes. Mm-hmm. So we're pretty close. Yeah, we're pretty close there, Perrin. You can't geek out more than we do. No, sir.
Yeah. Wait till you see tomorrow, folks. I wonder, do you remember last tour, Jimmy?
And Star Wars, by the way, it was released a few days ago. Do you
remember the last tour? As the set was happening, yes. Every time they would play a song, they would put imagery for the song on their Facebook page.
Yeah.
It was the coolest thing. Yeah. So literally, you wound up with 16 images. And I think we were doing a live show with K-Man as it was happening.
Yeah, maybe we'll do the same thing this time around.
And there was a leaked set list last time, and it was right, but it was leaked because somebody was standing outside the venue when they were doing production rehearsal. Like, they were running through the entire set.
May the 25th be with you. You mean the 27th. Oh, yeah, the 25th of Star Wars. Yes. This is the original logo right here.
Cool.
All right, so I think that's pretty much it. Do we have anything else to add?
Well, look, I'm sure the merch is going to be cool. So, I guess the next phase is we'll be back here tomorrow. And keep in mind, if they hit the stage at 9 o'clock in Budapest, it's about 3 o'clock in Eastern North America, 1 o'clock in the noon even in California. But Jimmy and I got to work tomorrow. So I think we're going to let the show finish tomorrow. We're going to let the show finish, which will probably be at about 5 p.m. Eastern time. And then we'll get back on here again 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock tomorrow night, and we'll dissect it. And by then, we might have merch picks. We'll know the set list. And guys, I think one thing we haven't talked about today, which I think is going to be much discussed this week, is how Simon Dawson does replacing Nico McBrain. Because different style of drummer. Everyone has talked about, I've never seen him play a double bass drum. How can you play single bass drum in Iron Maiden? I'm sure he's going to play a big double bass kit. I'm sure he knows how. It's just for the bands he was in before, it wasn't required. So that'll be really interesting.
Look, he was picked because he spent 12 years playing with British Lion. And I'm sure he was picked not only because he's capable as a drummer, but he's also capable and he gels with the rest of the band. He's part of the family, right?
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. It was probably Steve's decision more than anyone else's, but I'm sure the rest of them trust Steve to pick a competent musician. And let's be honest also. The bass player and the drummer need to be in lockstep. The as much as Steve is a star, the rhythm section is very important to Maiden's sound. So I think, Steve had to be comfortable with his rhythm section partner.
Yeah. All right, everybody, just plug in the song that you really want to hear them play tomorrow. Sure, maybe it's a deep cut. Maybe it's just a standard, but just tell us. You don't even have to say one song. If you want to build a whole set list, post the whole set list.
I did. What do you think and what do you wish? Because those could be two different things.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe this is your wish list, and this is your what it's going to be prediction list. You could type them in both in there, and we'll see what it is, and tomorrow we'll have fun looking at it. Look, there's no wrong answers here. It's Iron Maiden.
Well, there actually
as
is.
long as they don't play Die With Your Boots On, everything's okay. All right.
If you're gonna
everybody,
die with your boots on.
All right, everybody, have yourself a wonderful night, and we will talk tomorrow.
We'll see you in